Yeah, how you doing, boxing fans? I just saw that fight last night's big fight. I wasn't able to stay up, of course, to watch it live, but I saw it just now. Yeah, so Crawford versus Porter, of course. Some fight. Yeah, it was a pretty good fight, but also a little bit peculiar because there was a lot of, you know, a lot of physical fighting. Where Porter was doing a lot of grabbing and holding and try. It seems like he was trying to impose himself on Crawford physically instead of trying to outbox him because I guess he knew that that would be too tough, since Crawford is that clever, And yeah, so there was a lot of good exchanges anyway. Yeah, the first round, Porter like sent Crawford. He surprised him with a good punch. I think it was a left hook which sent him to the ropes, but Crawford was not really hurt by that. And then, yeah, I mean, there were some rounds that were close, difficult to score, but I think Crawford was ahead at the time of the stoppage. Round 8 was perhaps the best round of the fight because both guys landed some, hard, clean shots. Otherwise, there was a lot of, I mean, Crawford, he seemed to be content to, defend himself simply and to counter Porter, while Porter was the aggressor, of course, for most of the time anyway. And yeah, I don't know really. I think Porter might have made a mistake in being this so aggressive because I think he could have survived till the final bell if he had been a bit more cautious and tried to box instead of just attacking and brawling and being very aggressive because as I said before, he has that tendency. It was seen before in Malinaji fight, for instance, where he fights very messy, very physical, even dirty to an extent. And I thought that was behind him those days, but obviously not. Yeah. So yeah, Crawford was simply a man who he just couldn't bully, into submission. So in the 10th round, yeah, Crawford hit him with a good surprise, like a counter right hand. It was boom right on the bottom, and it put him down and kind of shook him, but he didn't really look hurt, Porter. And then again, he was hit by a left-right combination as he was charging at Crawford, and he seemed very angry and smashed his fist glove against the canvas. So, and then his father just stopped the fight. And I thought that was weird, because he didn't look to me like Porter was, on his way out. I mean, he was dropped twice, but he wasn't. Was far from finished, He didn't look that hurt, But I guess his father didn't want him to take any more punishment, simply, and even though Porter has been kind of, you might say, almost beaten up by Kell Brook before, for instance, and he was dropped by Spence, but he was never like really, I guess, in that position where he was, really being. Well, I don't know really. He was down twice, I believe, against Spence in the 11th round, but I just think that his father simply was not satisfied with the way he was fighting because he was, getting hit too much. He was rushing in too much and all that. He wasn't sticking. I don't know what the game plan was, but I doubt he was really, sticking to that game plan. So yeah, this was a surprise, because didn't think that Porter could be stopped by anyone. I mean, and as I said, Crawford is not the hardest hitter at 147 really. You know who I forgot to mention one guy who is actually very hard here at 147. That's Virgil Ortiz. So I'm really looking forward to. I hope he gets to fight someone. I mean, either Crawford or Spence soon. Maybe even next year. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, this was really a surprise to me. But it was a rather even fight. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Porter has something to be ashamed of. It's simply that he got dropped and he got nailed uh, twice. Yeah. Before that, in the eighth round, he was also hurt. I mean, he was hit pretty clean a few times. Yeah, it looked like he was actually really kind of coming apart, at the time of the stoppage. It looked like he was starting to get, dominated for real. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that now finally Crawford has proven himself, that he is beaten one of the best guys out there because whenever I kind of mention his name, people will say, "Oh, he's no, who has he really beaten? Like nobody." And he never fought this guy or that guy, or. Now at least they cannot say he hasn't fought anyone like that among the very best. Which Porter is without a doubt. But I don't know. And of course, yeah, he actually Porter announced his retirement after the fight, but I don't think that will last. Not very likely. I mean, that's what all fighters often do. Fighters of his caliber, when they get stopped for the first time, they get very disappointed. But even if I think maybe that would be the right thing to do because he doesn't have anything left to do really. He has fought, everyone now, all the best guys in the division. He has fought Errol Spence. He has fought Terence Crawford, Adrian Broner, Danny Garcia. He didn't fight Manny Pacquiao, but now he can't get the chance either. You cannot fight everyone, absolutely everyone. I mean, there are few who have fought absolutely all the best guys in their respective division. I mean, even Floyd Mayweather or Sugar Ray Leonard cannot say that. I mean, it's just the way it is. Maybe Sugar Ray Robinson could, but he has 200 fights. Come on, that was another time. So now, of course, the road is cleared for that big showdown that was been really anxiously awaited between Crawford and Spence Jr. Yes. Yeah, that will be really interesting. I mean, hopefully it will happen next year. Yeah, hopefully nothing will ruin the chances of it happening. But you never know, of course. But Crawford can only be satisfied now. He's still unbeaten and he is he has a big name to add to his conquests. Yeah, well, a rather big name, like it's not like huge name, but it's pretty big still. Yeah, so what will happen? Well, I would also like Josh Taylor was also present there, and I would really love to see him also get a shot against Crawford. uh, or even Spence, but I would like to see him fight Crawford rather, because that would be a really interesting fight. Hard to see how Crawford adapts against a guy who's, well, significantly taller, I would say. Not that much taller, but tall enough to create problems for him, yeah. But we'll talk about that when that comes. Alright. Thank you for watching. See you.